And after you leave a like, remember to smash the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet. And remember to hit the notification bell so every time I post a video you can know right away. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. What's up, my YouTube friends, viewers, subscribers, everybody? Welcome back to another banger motivational video. Let's get it. Do what you think and not how you feel. And the reason I say this is if you keep on doing stuff depending on how you're feeling, you will lose every single time. So now that I said it, let's kick the video off. If you're driven by feelings like how you feel, like every day you get up, you do stuff based off how you feel, you will get absolutely nowhere. Do what you think. That's why you got a brain. Because if you want to do something, everything you do, you have to mentally prepare yourself in order for you to get it done. So you have to get, like, if you got a 9-to-5 job or school, or doesn't matter, whatever you have in your life daily, you get up every day with the intention of getting it done, depending on how you feel. You see, when you mentally prepare yourself, your body will automatically move according to how you are mentally. So if you say I have a 9-to-5 job or school or whatever, you get up, or let's say 9-to-5 job first. So you got a 9-to-5 job, you get up every day. Your body knows that you should wake up every day and get stuff done. On your days off, if you normally do your grocery shopping and your chores, you mentally prepare yourself so your body know that it should be doing this on this day. Notice, you can get up every day and you go to work. You're at work for the whole day, whether 8-hour shift or 12-hour shifts or 14-hour shifts. You're not tired until you come home, because your body is used to being tired once you come home, because the day has been completed. I was about to say job, but same thing. The day has been completed. So in whatever you're doing, you have to mentally prepare yourself so you can focus on how you feel. Because let me tell you something. If you focus on how you feel, you will get nowhere, because it's human nature to feel lazy when you want to do something. You get up and you say you want to go grocery shopping. The first thing you do, oh, I don't feel like it. No, that's just being lazy. That's you not mentally preparing yourself. If you don't mentally prepare yourself, your body won't want to move according. Because you're going to lay down there in your bed watching TV or scrolling on your phone. Oh, I don't want to go to the grocery store today. Then all of a sudden your body starts feeling like it doesn't want to move. If that makes sense. Because the brain sends signals throughout the whole body. So whatever you think and however you think, your body will naturally respond to it. So if you're a person that have no brain, you don't want to think, you rely on feelings all the time, this is why you're losing. You will get nowhere. Because you know why you don't feel like it? That's because you think you don't want to. You ever once sat down and say, how am I always feeling like this? That's because that's your mindset. That's your mindset. So if you're driven by feelings, this is why your life is probably a mess. Because you get up every day, and every day it's the same cycle all over again. Oh, I don't feel like I want to go get a job. I don't feel like I want to go grocery shopping. I don't feel like I want to go to school. I don't feel like I want to do this. I don't feel like I want to do that. You don't think everybody is saying the same thing? But some of us got to do it. If you got bills to pay, people that have their own crib, their own place, and they got bills to pay, you will never hear them once say, oh, I don't feel like I want to go to work. Because they know they have to go to work in order for them to afford to pay their bills. So with that being said, the moment they move in, they already mentally prepare themselves to say, you know what, in order for me to keep this roof over my head, I'm going to have to get up and go out there 5 days a week. I don't care how tired I am when I come back. At least I got a roof over my head. So that's why most times when you go to work and you work all day, you have fun all day. You never tired. You're always 100%. But the moment you walk through the door, you eat your supper and you lay down, boom, that's it. Let me tell you something about the human body. The human body naturally go off of how you think. Naturally. So if you tell yourself you can't do something, you won't be able to do it. So if there's something heavy over there and you tell yourself, you know what, I'm not even going to try to move that rock. Let me say rock as an example. I'm not going to try to move that rock because number one, it's heavy. No, with that, let me say throw. So there's a rock and you can hold it to throw it, right? And you tell yourself, oh, I am not going to pick it up and throw it because I probably can't pick it up. Okay, which is fine. You ever notice when you convince yourself you can, then you can do it? Or if you're extremely upset, where your heart is pumping and your body is warm, you can do anything. You ever notice that when you're angry, you feel like you can achieve everything? That's because when you're angry, your brain is saying there's nobody can stop you, so you feel unstoppable. That's why most times when people are angry, they seem extremely strong because they tell themselves that they are strong. So with that being said, if you rely on just feelings, you will lose. You will lose over and over and over and over and over again because you're not doing what you think. And let me say it one more time. Feelings, depending on how you think. Because notice, how much times have you said you don't feel like you want to do something, or you feel like this, or you feel like that? That's because you think about it. And when you think about it, that's when you start to feel it. That's why a lot of people end up getting nowhere. Because they get up and they're like, oh, you know what, I want to do this. But they spend too much time thinking about not doing it that their body actually makes them not want to do it. If that makes sense. If you're in school and you're in your favorite subject, you're wide awake, you want to learn everything. That's because you naturally mentally prepare yourself because that's something you enjoy doing. But if you're in the class that you're not interested, you know you're not interested, that's why you're there all zoned out, don't want to learn anything. Because you don't feel like you want to do it. You already tell yourself, oh, why am I going to this class? I don't understand nothing. So when you go there, your body just naturally responds to however you think. Let me tell you something. Anything you see a person doing, they naturally think about it. Even if they're not, say, a deep thinker to think all the way through. So they will sit down. Anything you see somebody doing, they thought about it first, and then their body react to however they think. Because your body, depending on, like I said, your body reflects on how you feel. So if you think you can't do it, your body naturally responds to whatever you think. Because that's the brain cells that your brain is sending throughout the body. The signals your brain is sending throughout the body. So when you sit down and you say, oh, you can't do something, your body naturally responds to it. How much times have you say, oh, I can't do this, and then you try and then you fail? You fail yourself even before you get a chance to do it. How much times have you say, you know what, I'm going to go get my license, but I may fail. You went in there intentionally failing yourself without even knowing it because you weren't mentally prepared. So with that being said, when we were kids and people say, oh, prepare yourself for school, you got your book, you got your shoes put one side, you got your sock, you got your uniform, you got everything put one spot. If you got a timetable where it's different subjects throughout the day, you got different books, you're preparing yourself. And over time, that's you mentally preparing yourself without even knowing it, because you know. So let's say Monday you got math, science, and then Tuesday you got different subject. So you already know when you come home you have to pack your bag all over again in order for you to be prepared for the next day. So you're preparing yourself for school and you're mentally preparing yourself for the subjects the next day. That's life. So you can't rely on however you feel, because the longer you lay there and you say you don't feel like doing it, as time go by, it's going to be longer and longer and longer and longer and longer before you even get a chance to get up and do it. Because every time you get up and you try to do it, you convince yourself, oh, I can't do it, or I don't feel like doing it. Then your body just naturally responds to it. But when you get up and you do it, and then your brain is like focusing on something, because the brain was designed to find any little thing and latch onto it. So if you have a white piece of paper, and then like there's nothing on it, like a plain white piece of paper, and you look at it, your brain is naturally going to have your eyes rolling all over it because it's looking for something to focus on. But if you get like a small black dot on there and you look at the same paper, the moment you see the black dot, you're going to be looking directly at the black dot because the brain needs something to focus on. That's why if you go somewhere, and especially in school, if you're interested in something, then you're wide awake because the brain is focusing on something. If your brain is not focusing on something, then you don't feel like you want to do anything. This is why I always say in my motivational videos, do what you think you will enjoy. Because if you won't enjoy it, you won't learn it. If that makes sense. So you can truly rely on feelings. Because if you rely on feelings, I've said it before and I'll say it again, you will lose. You go in a relationship. Oh, I don't feel like I want to go out today. I don't feel like I want to do this. If that makes sense. You're hurting your partner. Because there's no way you're going to say, oh, it's my partner's birthday. I don't feel like I want to go anywhere. That's because you're boring. If that makes sense. So feelings is something you can't rely on. And maybe 80% of people nowadays rely on their feelings. That's why a lot of them are homeless. You can't rely on feelings. I'm telling you, you will get absolutely nowhere. And you may sit down and look at yourself, and as time go by, you will keep on looking at yourself, and you will keep on looking back to where you are and see that you're absolutely nowhere. But whenever you get a chance to do something, the first thing you said is, you don't feel like you want to do it. You see where I'm going? Because business owners and say content creators and say a lot of people that are progressing their dreams, they do not wake up and say, oh, I don't feel like I want to do it. I'm pretty sure not everybody want to do it every single day, but they have to do it. And if it's something that you love, then it will flow naturally. If that makes sense. So while you're getting up and saying, oh, I don't feel like I want to do this, and you live your life less than whatever your life should be, who you think you're hurting? Nobody. You're only hurting yourself based off how you feel in the moment. And let me say something again. Your feelings will change depending on maybe your situation or your interests. Because you wake up, oh, I don't feel like I want to go to work today. You're just tired and you're being lazy. But when you lay there, you become more lazy. But when you get up and you say, you know what? I'm tired, but I got to do it anyways. Your brain naturally starts flowing, get stuff going. Then you got a little energy in your body. Then you're like, you know what? I need an energy drink or a coffee or something to get me going. Then you drink it, then you get going. If that makes sense. So instead of you laying down there, oh, I'm tired. I didn't go to bed till after 2 last night and I wake up at 5 and I don't feel like I want to go. If you got a roof over your head, you're only shorting your own paycheck. And that rent still needs to be paid. So, who you think you're hurting? When you do stuff, depending on how you feel in the moment, and like I said before, feelings will change. You can't rely on how you feel now to determine your future for tomorrow. How about you get up? You already know what need to be done throughout the day. Get it done, and then you will be lazy. That's how I do it. So if I get up, I'm like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I mentally prepare myself every day. That's why most times, if there's something additional on your list for the day, then you're burnt out because you weren't prepared for that. So let's say you go to work and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go work 8 hours and then I'm going to come home, eat supper, lay down, watch TV for about 2 hours and go to bed. What if somebody didn't show up at work and then you have to double? You are not mentally prepared to work that whole day. So after the shift, you're going to be extremely tired. And if you work the next day, you may or may not be a mess, depending on how much sleep you got when you get home. But if your manager come to you and say, you know what, so-and-so took this day off, or so-and-so can't come, can you come next week at this day and work the whole day and you'll get extra pay? When you agree, you already mentally prepare yourself. So you're going on that day, work the whole day, and you can come the next day because you mentally prepared yourself. So you know what to expect. But when you don't know what to expect, that's when you feel lazy, that's when you feel burnt out, that's when you feel tired, and you feel like you don't want to do it. So why are you relying on feelings that feelings can change at any moment? You can like somebody today and you can feel nothing tomorrow. You can like science today, and the older you get, you like mechanic. That's just how it is. Feelings, interests. You're interested in something now, then later you're not. You like cats now. When you get older, you like dogs. That's just how it is, and that's just life. You can't rely on how you feel within the moment. You still gotta get up and you still gotta get it done. If you're the type of person that you sat somewhere and you tell yourself you want to do it, but you didn't start, maybe you didn't know how. Because a lot of people, let me tell you something about starting something. A lot of people don't know how to start, but once you do, everything will fall into place. That's just how everything is. And that's one of the things nowadays. Like, people want to do something, but what's stopping them is they don't know how to start. But let me tell you something. You see, once you start, I'll always say it and I'll say it again. Once you start and it's something that you're interested in, something you're passionate about, your brain will automatically figure out different ways how to move forward. So maybe you haven't started yet because you don't feel like you want to start. But like I said, you can't rely on feelings, and you can't worry about what everybody else have to say. Oh, I don't want to start this because I feel like that person may say this, or I feel like that person may say that. Nope. You're using your own feelings to cloud your own judgment. That's why you're not moving forward. And that's why you haven't started doing whatever you love, because you're so busy worrying about what everybody else may say. Because, oh, I feel like this person is going to say this about me. That person going to say that about me. So you're focusing on what everybody else is saying and what everybody else is doing more than pursuing your dream. Instead of getting up and getting yourself in order and fixing yourself and moving forward with yourself so you can look back and say, I did this with my life, you're worrying about what somebody across the street has to say. Let me tell you something. People that talk the most crap have less than you. That's why they have all the time to talk. Broke people sit down and criticize people getting money. People that are doing less than you are the ones that don't like you because you're doing better than them. And you sit down using your feelings, oh, I don't feel like I want to do this because if that person's going to say this about me. You literally cloud your own judgment. You can't rely on how you feel. I said it already, and let me say it one more time. Your feelings will change over time. And for females, I wish most of you possess the ability to use your brain and think. Because a lot of you ruin your lives depending on how you feel within the moment. And some guys too. So if you're the type of person that's driven by feelings, you can't do anything based off how you feel. You will lose. Every time. And most women do stuff based off how they feel. That's why for guys, you can go to a mall and you can see a girl you like, and you can ask her for her number. And she said no today. And then you can see her tomorrow or next week and you ask her for her number and she give you. That's just how she felt within the moment. Notice, when a female is being moody or whatever, she's totally different. That's because she's not thinking. Females are driven based off how they feel. But maybe 2% of women know how to use their brain and think. This is why a lot of women put themselves in position, ruin their lives, and then sit down and complain and blame everybody else for what they did to themselves. That's just life. That's just how they feel within the moment. If there's something going on, like a girl having issues with her marriage or friend or something, ask her. Just sit down and let she vent to you. She will use the keyword. The female will literally tell you straightforward. Oh, I feel like this person said that. Okay, you feel like they say that, but what you think? For most of you guys watching me, you probably know, if you're married or you ever had a girlfriend, how much times were there disagreements or she complaining about something that happened at work or on the street or at the mall? She's complaining about something. And she said, oh, but I feel like this or I feel like that. Yeah, you feel like that. But what about what you think? What you think can be completely different from what you feel. And then most women sit down and complain and blame everything else. That's just life. Most guys do the same thing because not a lot of guys use their brain. I'm not singling out women. I'm just talking about do what you think and not how you feel, because most guys do the same thing too, depending on how they feel. That's why most guys that are successful in getting some money, they ruin their whole career based off how they feel within present moment. And all it takes is you work 5-10 years, grind hard every day to get somewhere, and then all it takes is one mistake for you to lose everything. That's just how it is. That's exactly how it is. Guys that do that to themselves, or guys that say, because most times when a guy is successful, and whether he's married or not, and he sits down and he's like, oh, I feel like I can get any girl I want, then all of a sudden he start putting himself out there, then boom, he lose everything. That's just how it is, because that's how he feel within the moment. If you ever stop for once and sit down and say, you know what, I think I'm financially stable now, and I think I don't need to be all over the place, and I don't think, if he used those key words, he would never lose it all. Look at all those successful entrepreneurs or rappers or people that marry and never cheated and stayed together because they use their brain, not how they feel. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and then all of a sudden there's disagreement, oh, I feel like I need to go to another partner and blah 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 blah, you ruin everything. Everything. So if you ever sit down and wondering why your life seems more difficult than what it needs to be, that's because you're relying on feelings more than what you think. Because automatically, if you convince yourself something, your body will move according. But if you don't think about nothing and then you just realize, you get up and you're like, let me see how I feel, you won't feel like you want to do anything. Because your brain didn't think about wanting to do it. So the brain is not going to send any signal in order for you to do it. So you're going to lay there for the whole day and do absolutely nothing. So with that being said, like I said before, you can't rely on how you feel. You have to rely on how you think, what you think. Because when you think about something, like I said, your body will move according. It will move according. You may sit down and you say, oh, I have to get up day by day. So for you, some of you guys that have 9-to-5 jobs, how you think you're able to get up every day, 5 days a week, and go to work for one whole year? I'm not even going to say 3 year, 5 year, or 10 year. 1 year. How did you think that was possible for you to get up every day, 5 days a week, go to work for 8 hours, and come back home for 1 year? That's because you mentally prepare yourself. So when you get your days off, you're fully aware that you need to maybe go to bed a little bit earlier so you get a good night's sleep, so you can wake up less tired and you'll be able to go to work. That's you mentally preparing yourself so your body flow according to how you think and what you think. Because when you didn't got a job, you're up 2-3 a.m. Now that you got a job, those times you're sleeping. And over time, your body will learn the routines. So if you notice, if you work strictly like in the morning, by a certain time at night, your body is tired because your body know you should be resting. So if you work nights, your body know you should be resting during the day. This is why you can work any schedule and your body know when to feel tired. Like your body will literally know when to feel tired. This is why you can get up and you can go every single day. But the moment like say you work 5 days a week and then you have to work 6 days, your body's not used to working 6 days, especially if you weren't mentally prepared. Like you're sleeping and your manager or somebody probably call you up and say, oh, can you come in? You're not mentally prepared. So you're going to go in on that day being a mess. That's just how it is. So you can't rely on feelings. Sometimes things happen beyond our control, but I would strongly recommend do what you think and not how you feel. Because however you feel now may be different from however you feel in the next 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. You feel some type of way now, then by the time you lay down, sleep and wake up, you feel different. Maybe you're moody because you're hungry. That's just how it is. So I hope this message was useful for some of you guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned. I will be back doing more stuff. You go enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out. And don't forget to follow me on social media. I post daily on them.